Okay, so coming to our new topic of preposition, another very interesting, very simple, and you're going to have fun because it is very easy grammar topic, that is preposition. Okay, so what is preposition? A preposition is a word or group of words that tell us where somebody or something is, where something happens or somebody does something, the direction or place from which somebody or something is coming, the direction or place in which or where somebody or something is going. Okay, so these 4 points are basically giving us a very precise definition of preposition. Preposition is where something is or somebody is, where something is happening or somebody is doing something, where something is coming from or somebody is coming from, or where something is going or somebody is going. So that is the simple idea, the direction, place, position. Okay children? A preposition is usually placed before the word or group of words it governs, which is called its object. There are 2 kinds of prepositions. Let's come to the first point, the placement of preposition. Okay, so children, in English grammar, when you construct sentences, then the placement of words is very important, very crucial, because when you change the placement of words, sometimes the meaning changes, right? So when you are using prepositions, you will see in most of the examples, the preposition is always next to these group of words. These words or group of words which it is controlling, which it is governing. These words are called the objects of the preposition. They are near the preposition and they are called the object of preposition. Okay? We will be coming on this point of the object of preposition in our examples. Okay? I will be reminding you all. There are 2 kinds of prepositions. Okay, so you have to remember we have 2 kinds of prepositions here, simple and complex. How? A preposition which consists of only one word is known as simple preposition. A preposition which is made up of more than one word is known as a complex preposition. Okay, so more than one word, a complex preposition, a single word, simple preposition. Very clear with the definition of 4 points, right? With the object of preposition, very important. And lastly, that is, it is of 2 kinds. Okay? Some commonly used simple and complex prepositions. What you must always remember is that some of the words may also be used as adverbs or as conjunctions. Whether a word is an adverb, a conjunction or a preposition depends on the work it does in a phrase, clause or sentence. Okay, so here we are going to study a group of simple preposition, complex preposition. That is the 2 kinds of prepositions. But when you will be seeing the list, you will be getting a little confused that they look like adverbs. They look like conjunctions. So don't get confused because these are the same words which have been used differently according to their placement, their usage in the sentence. Sometimes they happen to be used as conjunctions. Sometimes they happen to be used as adverbs. And sometimes they are used as prepositions. So it depends on the work it does in a phrase, a clause or a sentence. Okay children? These are the simple prepositions. Let's go through the list. Okay? When you go through the list, you'll always have it in your mind. Across, after, against, along, amid, among, around, before, below, beside, between, by, down, during, except, following, in, inside, into, like, near, next, off, on, onto, out, outside, over, past, regarding, round, then, through, till, to, until, upon, with, without. Always remember, all of them coming along with their the object of preposition. Complex preposition. Now this is a list of complex preposition, okay, along with. It is a group of words, okay, as a result of, as to, at the top of, away from. All of them are basically coming back to the definition of preposition. It is precisely telling us the direction, position and place. So these group of words together form a complex preposition. By means of, by way of, close to, due to, except for fear of, for the sake of, in accordance with, in case of, in comparison to, in comparison with, in consequence of, in contrast to, in course of, in favor of, in front of, in keeping with, in place of, with reference to, in regard to, in respect of, in sight of, in spite of, in the case of, in the face of, in the hope of, in view of, on account of, on behalf of, out of, owing to, or rather than, so far as, such as, together with. So children, I hope you all are clear with the definition of preposition, the object of preposition, the two kinds of preposition. We went through the two lists of the simple and the complex preposition. Now the next important topic under preposition is placement of preposition. How do you place it? Where is it placed? Okay. A preposition is usually placed before its object. That is a noun or a pronoun or group of words that is doing the work of a noun. Okay. You all have previously studied, children, that every sentence has a noun or a pronoun that is a subject or object, right? So the placement of the preposition is before its object. Okay, the cat was sleeping on the chair. So we can very clearly see on is the preposition. Okay, and it is placed before the object, chair. So chair is the object of on. The man stared at her. At is the preposition. Her is the pronoun. Her is right after the preposition at. So her becomes the object of at. Her becomes the object of the preposition at. There are many books on Indian cookery. Okay, so Indian cookery is basically over here the noun phrase. Indian cookery is the noun phrase that is object of the preposition on. Okay, so the object can also be a phrase. In some, so this is basically one point of the preposition. It is usually placed before the object. You need to remember it. Okay. Second point. In some sentences, we can place the preposition in a different position. When does that happen? That depends on your construction of sentence. So depending on the construction of sentences, sometimes the position of preposition just changes. How come? Let's study this example. That is the man she was speaking to. So over here is the preposition. To is the preposition. But whom is it addressing? What is the object of the preposition to? So man. Okay, so man is the noun object of to, but it is not after the preposition. The position has changed because of the change in the construction of sentence. Okay, that is the scenario sometimes. Okay, otherwise it is always after the preposition that you find the object. Third point. The preposition and its object are usually placed after the verb in a clause or sentence. So you see the way they are getting our points clearer. First, they are telling us that the object is always after its preposition. Sometimes the location of the preposition and the object changes depending upon your construction of sentences. But both object and preposition come after the verb in a clause or in a sentence. Okay? We jumped into the icy cold water. So we know that into is the preposition, the object is the icy cold water, and jumped is the verb. So the preposition and the object of preposition have come after the verb in the sentence. Clear, children? If for some reason we want to draw attention to or emphasize the object or prepositional phrase, we can place it at the beginning of the clause or sentence. Children, when you say something, you try to focus on something more important in the sentence. Okay? So when you want to focus, when you want to draw your attention to something, you change the construction of sentence. For example, if you see this example, we jumped. So my attention is somebody is jumping. Okay? That is most important. Into the icy cold water is the second thought, right? But suppose I say, into the icy cold water, we jumped. So the focus has drawn into the temperature of the water. It was icy cold water, and then we jumped into it. So the focus changes. So in that case, the preposition position also changes. Into goes right in front, okay, and the verb has come behind, right? Into has gone ahead, the icy cold water object has gone ahead, and the verb has come behind. So sometimes, depending on your construction of sentences, the positions change. Otherwise, there are these generalized positions. This focus attention on the fact that though the water was icy cold, we jumped into it. Our focus changes. If the object of a preposition is a phrase, it is sometimes called a prepositional phrase. So this is a prepositional phrase, into the icy cold water. Next scenario about the placement of preposition. If the prepositional phrase is placed at the beginning, the verb usually comes before the subject. Okay, let's study it with the help of this example. On the mirror was a huge spider. So ideally, if I have to say, a huge spider was on the mirror, right? So what would be the subject? A huge spider was on the mirror. Was is the verb, on the mirror being the prepositional phrase, and huge spider being the subject. But here, sometimes the prepositional phrase, as emphasized over here, is placed at the beginning. So the prepositional phrase has gone right at the beginning. On the mirror. Was comes after it, the verb. Was a huge spider. So the subject has gone usually after the verb. I hope my point is clear. When I'll take my prepositional phrase and place it right in front, the subject will come after the verb. Subject being the huge spider, coming after the verb was. Sometimes, if we change the position of a preposition, we usually change the form of pronoun. So whenever you're making some change, there will be change in the construction of sentence, there will be change in the pronoun also. There's a new pronoun over there, which is its object also. To whom should I give this letter? Okay, so to is right ahead over there. Suppose I get the to over this side. Who should I give this letter to? So to has come right at last. From the beginning it has come right at last. So then our pronoun has changed. From whom it has become who should I give this letter to? Though you can still say whom should I give this letter to. That is also not grammatically wrong. But then you can definitely use the pronoun who. Okay? Since we have placed the preposition to at the end instead of the beginning of the sentence, as in this example, the pronoun who may be used for whom. Some, however, would still use whom. Whom should I give this letter to? Next scenario about the placement of prepositions. Sometimes, if we change the position of a preposition, a pronoun has to be omitted. So sometimes the pronoun is completely omitted. We don't require it. How come? Let's see the example. The country with. With is the preposition. Which is the pronoun. England was at war was Germany. Okay. So which is the pronoun, object of the preposition with. So as you remember, children, preposition always comes with its object. So which is the pronoun is the object over here. With is the preposition, which is the pronoun, it is the object of with. Okay, so the country with which England was at war was Germany. Suppose we change the position of the preposition. The country England was at war with was Germany. So over here the pronoun has completely disappeared. The boy to whom I was speaking just now is in my class. So whom is the pronoun, to is the preposition, whom is the object of the preposition to. Okay, but we can change the position of to over here. The boy I was speaking to just now is in my class. So whom is omitted over here. We do not require the pronoun now. Okay, children? Very important in your English construction of sentences. Sometimes we don't need the preposition itself. Okay, so omission of preposition is our new subtopic. We'll study these examples first, children. The postman gave the letter to him. Okay, so if you see the example, you will see we have the verb gave over here and we have the pronoun him over here. Okay, so next one. The postman gave him the letter. So the pronoun goes right next to the verb. Mother made a sandwich for me. Made is the verb. Me is the pronoun. So suppose me goes right next to the verb. Mother made me a sandwich. Okay. Note that when we place the indirect object, that is the pronoun or the indirect object, immediately after the verb, the preposition is not required, it is omitted. So we have the preposition, the postman gave the letter to him. So to is omitted, gone. Mother made a sandwich for me. For is omitted, gone. When is it omitted? When we take me right next to the verb made. When we take him right next to the verb gave. Okay. Similarly, when me, the indirect object, comes immediately after made, the verb, the preposition for is omitted. Okay. So these were the topics that we require to know before getting a complete idea of prepositions. That is the definition. Okay, children, the object of preposition, very, very important. The two kinds of prepositions and the list of prepositions, because the more and more you use them, children, the more you will be very, very grammatically accurate. Okay, whether it is a preposition, whether it is an adverb, it is being used as an adverb, or whether it is being used as a conjunction. Okay, and finally, its placement, very, very important. So children, try doing the exercises on your own, and if you don't understand, I'm sharing the PDF, you will be able to do the exercises. Okay, do the exercises in your English grammar notebook. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.